Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the 2020 LOTRO Marathon in our fall fundraising campaign. Good to see everybody. We're just standing here receiving the adulation of the crowd out here on Pelennor Field. It's just stop, everyone. No, really, stop. You're embarrassing us. But after they're finished applauding us, which actually I'm not sure they ever will finish applauding us, they're just continuously grateful for our presence, which is quite charming and even humbling, honestly. But I'm glad to be with you here today. I'm joined here by Valori and Druid's Fire, who are we're planning to be with me. This is, of course, the first part of our marathon today is a makeup session for the failed Mythmoot stream when I attempted to do my stream of the Great Wedding, the wedding of Aragorn and Arwen, and totally my computer blew up, unfortunately. But anyway, now I am back and I have a new computer and we should be ready to go. We are... I'm going to go at my own pace through the Great Wedding, and then after we finish the Great, and no one need rush me, and at the end of the Great Wedding, then I will continue on Wiggins. Wiggins is, of course, going through the epic line. I would just remind everybody, if you, who doesn't know, everything that I'm doing here in the game with Wiggin, I've never seen before. This is always, he is my original alt in LOTRO and my furthest advanced character, and so everywhere in the game that I go with him is uncharted territory for me. Anyway, all right. So here we are outside on the Pelennor field, and we see. First of all, the first thing that I notice is that they've planted, right, all of these rose bushes around here, which is interesting, right? Like it's
block views of the field, I should assume.
Exactly, right, so that you don't see the. Because I mean, presumably it's still a little torn up from the battle, but I mean, so it's not just about putting up these poles and these really impressive hanging trellises of flowers, which is really actually a lovely idea. But at the same time, again, they've actually planted bushes so that you can just see, some of the walls and stuff, on the outside of it. But you can't really see the battle itself. So I think it is quite possible, as someone pointed out, that it's actually the potatoes and artichokes sitting next to me that the people are applauding, and I can't rule that out. But
yay, potatoes!
Yeah, hooray! So if we turn back here now to the main gate, we can see how we
newly
have
mended main gate. Yeah,
the newly mended main gate, or at least the sort of the temporarily mended main gate. We don't have the full new gates, of course, yet constructed by the dwarves of Erebor. I am not 100% sure what everybody is meant to be applauding exactly. I mean, there's folks over there dancing, which makes perfect sense. But we still have people, obviously, I mean, it's obvious that the wedding hasn't begun yet because there are still people bringing supplies into the city, right? That's what we have going on out here with the wagons, sort of waiting patiently to get through the main gate. Of course, the banner of the king is now hanging above the gateway. Oh, that is really interesting. Notice how in the 7 stars arrayed around the crown above the tree, 3 of them are prominently Numenorian stars, right? With the Numenorian star being with the long point at the bottom.
Yep.
Of course, as very familiar to folks who come along on our ex-LOTRO field trips or my Griffwood stream. I've spent plenty of time looking at that particular insignia. For those of you who are new, of course, the reason that's a Númenórean star is it commemorates when, Earendil's star was lighting the way for the Númenóreans as they found Númenor. Like that was the sort of, the way that Númenor was revealed to them. Was they were sort of guided by the star, so that the ray of light shining, so that the point down, it's not that the star is upside down or something, it's that the star is shining down to point the way to Númenor. But it's interesting that they're not all downward pointed stars. It's only those three that are downward pointed stars, and that is really interesting. Like if you look at the more just the 7 stars banner on the left hand side,
right.
You see that all of them are Númenórean stars. But that's really interesting. Notice also how shiny they are, right? Like you compare the stars in the middle. Is this actually meant to be? That can't be the actual banner that Arwen herself made, can it? The one in the middle?
I don't know.
Because I wouldn't
Could
think.
be.
I think it's a little big for it.
I mean, how long was she working on it?
Well, I mean, it's not that she didn't have enough time. I mean, she's had decades to start working on this, but I mean, it wouldn't be very useful. Like, Halberd couldn't exactly have that wrapped around a standard, as it's like, 20 feet long.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, fair point.
But anyway, I mean,
it could be the one right above it.
That's possible. Yeah, that could very well be her original banner. The shininess of the stars is reminding me of it, though, because of course in the book we're told that the stars are wrought of mithril and gems. Yeah,
definitely brand new flag. Well, the other two look a little older.
Yeah, that's true. Yes, actually, that could well be the point of it right there. That this is very newly prepared banner. Because you're right, even the white tree, of course. I mean, that other white tree banner has been hanging around for a long time, right? Mm-hmm. And the new white tree banner is, they haven't been in the business of producing new banners of the king for quite some time here.
I just realized that's the insignia we would both have on our cloaks.
That is true. Yes, the banner of the king. I can't even remember where I got this cloak now, yes, I'm wearing my my Anorian armor. It's the most recent set that I've gotten in the course of my pursuing of the epic quest line.
Oh, cool.
The cloak comes from the epic quest line.
Yeah, well, I figured I must have picked it up somewhere along the way.
Yeah.
I thank you, everybody. No, really, you shouldn't have. I'm so pleased that you turned out for this. Anyway, looking at the gate now, the railing here is sort of the most interesting thing to me, right? I mean, so that they have built a kind of wall, not exactly a wall. I mean, this is not designed to be defensible, right? Because of the huge holes in it. Obviously, right? It's made of, so this is a mostly decorative gate that has been made. I mean, it possibly could be defended in a pinch. Though again, as I say, you'd think that perhaps it would be more. I mean, maybe they're like portcullises that come down on the side to close the gate. I don't know. But in any case, it's not the most defensible gate, but that's okay. It's not meant to be. And so you'd think that with the lack of interest in defending the city, they could have just left it open until the new gates were finally constructed, but they didn't leave it open. They built doors, and that just strikes me as interesting. Like they don't want, because a gaping hole where the gate used to be would be like a sign of loss, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, it would be almost a reminder of the battle that was past. This sort of the construction of this shows a new beginning, and a new beginning in a different direction, right? New beginning in a more peaceful direction. Still doors, but I mean, look at all these decorative doodads.
It has dignity. It has dignity more than a gaping hole would have.
Yes, exactly. I mean, look at these, metal, I don't even know what they are. fixtures, knobs, like random knobs on it. But I mean, it's cool. Like it looks nice, and it looks formal, and it it makes the whole thing look
less plain.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Less stark, certainly. And it gives you something to hang roses on, so that's good. All right, and here we are in the main courtyard. One of the things that I find really striking about the changes here in the courtyard is that the statues, don't the statues feel like they're much more in the background than they were before? Right? It's I mean, I remember the very first time I stepped into the Minas Tirith courtyard here in game, and the statues were like my primary impression. It's like, and here we are among, and the first impression that you get is, the towering figures of Gondor of old staring down at you.
Looming over you.
Exactly. And they're still there, of course, and it's not like, you can't see them or something, but I mean, stepping in here, the foreground, of course, is so much more prominent, and obviously with all the color and everything, it's almost like there's this whole layer, between us, this layer of color, and of course the crowds of people. Though again, the last time I saw this courtyard, there were crowds of people here too, but just different crowds of people. But anyway, yeah, it's even like the statues of the kings, and I forget which kings they are, flanking either side there. It's not Isildur and Anarion, is it? It's Earendil in the middle, right?
There's plaques.
I think so.
Oh, I know there are plaques, but
there's not plaques for these particular ones.
Yeah, these are the big ones. But anyway, just the way that they're holding their hands out now looks almost like a blessing, right? Yeah, I figured that was the big three. Yeah,
looks like a benediction.
Exactly. Whereas before it looked like like a caution or a warning or something. It's just that the whole thing has been recontextualized. The statues even look more weathered now, in a sense, because of everything else that's going on in front of it. Everything else being sort of so fresh and new.
The fact they survived is a miracle.
Yeah. All right. Again, lots of planting going on. It makes me think of all the bushes, and not just the bushes, but the grass. I mean, none of that grass was there. Like they've actually put down sod around in here, and of course, it reminds me of Legolas's words, in the Return of the King. There is too little that is green, that grows and is glad in this city, in this stony city. And you look around here, stony is certainly not what you get. I mean, look at the lawns. Look at the percentage of ground cover that's green now in here, which is again just so different from what we saw before. They've done a wonderful job of showing that this old city has, come to new life, right?
I wonder if Legolas and Sam had some influence over the city planning.
Right. Yeah, I could see Sam overseeing the laying down of the sod, right? That'd be...
Hobbits do seem like people who would be very worried about lawns.
Right.
Well, it's clear that the banners on the outside are not the unique banners because they're mirrored in here, so...
Right, yeah. Yep.
Chances are we'll see one in the throne room that's more officially...
Right. And, of course, the haystack is still here. So,
the horses gotta eat, man.
Horses gotta eat, yeah, no. But it's been, as I noticed before, and the only thing I did get a chance to notice before I crashed previously, that it's been potted now. Like it's not just a haystack standing in the courtyard anymore. Now it's got even that is like I don't even know what that is, but I think
it's burlap.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. But it's even the haystack is neat and impressive. Okay, all right. So do we have to? We wind our way up the city?
Yeah, we can, or we could start at the top and work our way down.
Oh, well, we're down here, so let's work our way up.
All right.
All right. I guess.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're going on foot? It's going to be a while.
Yeah, it'll be a while. Yeah. Let's.
Right.
Ooh, actually. Well, I guess we'll see out. I was going to go up on the walls for a minute, but we'll see over the walls as we go up.
Yeah.
Okay, there is also... Yeah, Phil, I was wondering the same thing. Do I need to get a quest? I didn't see a quest ring down there. Do we
No, there's no quest now because the festival's off.
Okay,
You'll
so
get the epic quests upstairs.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I'm going to be relying on you druids for stuff that's this quest only and not the festival.
There's no festival, so it's only going to be the quest.
I feel like
it's just my where to go next.
I'm like, excuse me, pardon me. Sorry. Oh dear.
Yeah, I don't like trampling through crowds.
Oh, sorry.
It's the Minas Tirith pedestrian polo game.
Yeah.
You get more points for how many people you knock over.
Oh man, look out! Oh, sorry, excuse me, pardon me. Oh dear. Yeah, I'm sorry. Okay, I should stop apologizing. Oh, and the buntings. Right, there are buntings now that they've put up. They've put up the Waters of Numenor bunting, or at least they're close to the Waters of Numenor bunting that we saw elsewhere, but of course much fancier.
Yeah, the poles are different than they are in like this. Almost the same cloth as in Dol Amroth is where we first saw that translucent stuff, and that is a real cloth that exists IRL. I have some upstairs.
Yeah, no, it looks very realistic in that way, and the poles are new. That's I mean, obviously new here to the city.
Beautifully decorated.
Yeah, look at how they've made the base of the pillars, match the walls and sort of complement. I love the way that the trim around the top of the bottoms matches the pole, but yet fits in the pattern with with the rest of the wall architecture. Very thoughtfully done to integrate the integration of the old and the new there.
I've definitely got stone from the same place or similar.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Makes you wonder where all this stone did come from, though.
Right.
There's a quarry.
Is there?
Yeah.
In game?
Yeah. You go questing in there. Some of the side quests for the Battle of Pelennor or whatever.
Wow.
The post Pelennor cleanup. The stairs are over here, by the way.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, look! It's got a stage with like minstrels and with like lutes and mandolins and drums.
Yeah, big stage here. That's awesome.
I love the stage decoration.
Yeah. So the idea here is, of course, people are gathered from all over, right? It's not only that. Now I have missed the stairs, haven't I?
I think the stairs.
You have missed the stairs. They're behind you.
Yeah. I was looking at the. Oh boy! Look at that! I've just crashed. How about that? Was afraid of that. So, Windows. Can I just say how much I dislike Windows? I have no idea what's going on here. This has happened once or twice. It's my Windows installation. I've been having like Windows issues. The kind of Windows issues that involve things like drivers and like which version of DirectX you're using and things like that I never have to worry about as a Mac user. And
no, it's just a Windows thing. It's no panic, Murray.
Yeah, no worries. It's all good. So, and I've been like, I did my Grifflet stream yesterday with no problems. I've been, I can't even peg anything. There's some issue with my Windows setup. I don't know what it is. It is anyway, but I'll be back in a second.
Okay.
I was hoping this wouldn't be too much of an issue today. As I said, my Grifflet stream was fine, and I've been sort of experimenting with it, and it's been fine. I've gotten very occasional crashes, and I can't figure out what's causing it, but who knows. Anyway.
You definitely want to make sure you're using the 64-bit client. You can within Windows, you just can't do it directly on Mac.
Okay. That's actually interesting. I didn't see. All right, I'll have to see. Maybe I can take a break and figure that out later on.
I can show you when the time comes.
Okay, cool. So hang on, where are the stairs? I missed them. No, wait. I'm nowhere near the stairs yet.
No, they're back here.
Okay.
It's a ramp.
All right. Yep.
Right. All right, hang on. Mounting back up. All right.
Sheepers. I can barely see it with all the flowers everywhere.
I know. Yeah. They actually, when they first published this stuff, they didn't outline the ramps on the map in game. And,
I remember.
Oh my god, we yelled at them until they fixed it.
Right. Okay. Yeah. No. With all the people, not only the flowers but the people, it's. I never noticed that door before. Is that like a is that like a guard center right there?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. Okay. Here we are on the second level. So I'm looking at the pink flowers on this pedestal here. They've decorated every single thing. Where is the green banner with the tree from?
Let me think.
Is that I don't remember seeing that, but I might have forgotten it.
Huh. Wonder if that's just a representative of this particular tier.
Maybe.
Like, that's this neighborhood's flag.
Oh, wait a second. Do I have to get the new stable masters?
No, they automatically populate once you pass by them. They automatically populate?
Okay. All right, good.
Yeah.
That's cool. Okay. So I really should probably stop trying to avoid the pedestrians because I'm going to be making myself motion sick if I try to do that all the way through. Yeah. These lamps are new?
Yes.
Yeah.
Huh.
There's other ones higher up that are like blue. They're beautiful.
Yeah.
They're pretty.
Those are really nice.
Pink glow.
And the arch up above is new too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a bunch of new decoration. Not only the flowers, but the
rebuilding of the city.
Yeah, exactly. To make it less stark, right? As it always was, though very stately, very stark, as it's meant to be, right? The stony city, as Legolas calls it again in that same quote. Oh, nice. I love the trailing lines of flowers around. I'm probably going to be so distracted again, I'm going to miss the ramp.
You did. It's back here.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I was going to say.
Oh, look at the feasts laid out here. Nice.
Oh, yeah, this is like one of the big communal suppers over here.
Oh, yeah, and the drinks table.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Looks like a profiterole tower.
It looks like it. Something like that.
Great British Bake Off over here.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, some of those are housing decorations.
You can get those for housing decorations?
Yep,
I want a tower of profiteroles.
Oh, that's cool.
Be easier to get in game than to make one. Shoe pastry is a mystery to me.
Okay. Up at the craftsman's tier.
No, that's still that green flag up there.
Yeah.
No, that's just like the civilians.
Boy,
kind of.
I'm just trying to imagine, like, how... My goodness. Like, where did they grow all of these flowers?
Ithilien.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, Ithilien had plenty and to spare.
Oh, man.
Big red flag.
It really is just, like, cumulatively delightful to ride through the bright and brightly decorated, and again, even more importantly, hugely populated city.
It feels alive.
Yeah.
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 The happiness is contagious.
Exactly. All of the I know there's the ramp again, right? Oh, look, I didn't miss this one.
No, that's a bank.
But yeah, and again, I'm noticing just like the statues, right? Again, there's so much more in the background. Yeah. Yeah.
Statues
so cool.
weren't invited to the party.
But it has a wonderful effect as you're riding through. Just not only the crowds of people, but all of their continuous gestures of happiness and dancing and everything.
I actually think it's kind of weird they left the statues unadorned.
Mm-hmm.
You think there'd be like laurel crowns on them or flowers or something.
Right. Now you're right. That does seem important, right? I mean, because everything else, it's not like they just didn't get around to it, right? I mean, everything else, almost all of even like random obelisks and things have flowers all over them.
Flags in some dangerously high places.
Right. Exactly. They clearly went well out of their way to, and here's like this random arch decorated, over here, like flowers hanging from this random arch. So you're right. It's certainly not that, like, oh, those are like too tall to bother about or something like that. That's certainly not the situation
or
here.
we run out of flowers.
Yeah.
Which clearly they didn't.
Clearly they didn't. Clearly. Anyway, yeah. So I think that it does suggest that it's a very deliberate choice on their part. What's happening over here?
Humility on the
more
king's
minstrels.
part.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. That they're not sort of, making the. I don't know. Like so. Let's see. What exactly is the message of that? Like, to show respect to the kings, by not making them. By not transforming them into mere decorations for the party?
Yeah, maybe.
Right?
Or
ramp is back here when you get around to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, okay.
When you're ready.
I love the
that's
mountain
where like
in the background.
that's where the theater is, maybe. Oh yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah, with the pine
One of the
slopes.
theaters, because Minas Tirith has two.
Yeah, the one with the blue sailboat on top.
Cool.
I love how there's many theaters in this district. I'm like, how nice is that?
Where did the ramp go?
Where I am.
Oh, over here. There it is.
Yeah, see, that's why I wanted the green dots. They're coming in handy.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, I think it's out of respect for them. In some ways, though, it seems, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure I love it. That is the choice. Not that I think it's an inappropriate choice for the designers to choose not to do it, as it seems like very much a thing I can easily imagine the people of Minas Tirith choosing to do. It seems to me very much to fit that they would choose not to to give the to strew the kings with flowers. So yeah, when I say I'm not sure I love it, I'm saying it's the choice by the people of Minas Tirith that I'm not sure I love. What it makes me think of is it makes me think of the party tree, right?
Yeah.
And think of the level of affection that Sam had for how the party tree became itself, like, especially in retrospect, a kind of guest of honor, the party tree, which had been in the middle of Bilbo's pavilion there, one of the primary remembrances of it. And so I'm not sure that the okay. I remember the Thirsty Seer. Didn't we go in there for something?
Yeah, I think we did.
I think we did. But I think I also missed the ramp.
Yep.
Not by much, though.
It's always easier to see when you backtrack.
Yeah, it is. It is. Anyway, I think of the way in which the party tree became, itself like a memorial embodiment, of that occasion. And, having some kind of... Okay, we're at the Houses of Healing, which were always green. Having the kings and stewards of old Gondor themselves, sort of participating, in the celebration seems like a thing that...
Okay.
Oh, wait, was I supposed to go up?
The other stable master's down there anyway, so that's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, we go around. Oh, yeah, right. Okay. Anyway, so like I said, I could easily see and would kind of like the idea of the kings and stewards participating even in in as significant a way, in a sense, as the party tree was. Anyway, that's what it makes me think of. So here we are. Huh.
I love how we've been constantly showered by flower petals this entire time.
Yes. Okay, hang on a second. We're at the top, right? Where's the tree?
Yeah. Well, I think they just plant it.
I know, but where?
Look where I am, the other side of the fountain.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So there's the new white tree, which is cool.
With an armed guard.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, you got to protect the sapling. You don't want to have, somebody coming over here and accidentally bruising the sapling. But, okay. So...
There are hobbits here, of course.
Why did they erect this big fountain? I mean...
Focal point.
The fountain is... I know, that's the point. Shouldn't the tree be the focal point? I mean, it's small, I know, but it's still important. It looks like an afterthought over here, almost. Like the fountain is in the center, like, ta-da! Which is great. I like the fountain. It's a nice fountain. But... And they're over on the side where you can't even see it when you come in is the tree.
In 50 years they're going to have to, dig up the fountain and replace it because the roots will be too big.
Exactly. And how are you... What are you going to repot the tree? When it grows bigger? And so when it grows up to be a big full-size white tree, it's going to always be over here in the random corner of this little square, next to the edge. I mean, that's
Twitch Chat has an interesting question. Wasn't the old tree next to a fountain, and they planted the new tree while the old tree was still standing there?
No, they removed the old tree and laid it to rest in Rathdinan. So the removal of the dead tree is right. I was looking for a sapling, but honestly, when we came through the door, I didn't even, apart from the fact that everything looks so different, I didn't even realize where we were. I didn't realize we were in the courtyard of the tree. I'm like, okay, so here's the huge fountain.
Courtyard of the fountain now.
Exactly, it's the courtyard of the fountain now, and especially where we came in, you couldn't even see it. It's on the other side of the fountain from when you come in. So you come up the ramp and you come to the thing, and it's over the trees over. I mean, it's going to be a century before that tree is big enough to be seen on the other side of this fountain.
Yeah.
That's just weird. That's just weird. I'm not happy with it. I mean, and it's just, and the asymmetrical placement, like it is literally on the side, you know? Like
They benched it.
How can you not have the white tree in the center? Right? I mean, that is crazy. I don't get that at all.
It's a temporary installation.
That fountain does not look like a temporary installation to me.
To the dwarves, it's probably. Get a couple of dwarves and be out of here in 2 weeks.
Right.
2 days.
As Ethelod says, some Gondorian gardener couldn't be bothered to water it every day.
It's watered by the spray.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
that does lend a simplicity to it.
It is efficient, anyway. It is certainly efficient. Okay.
If anything, like, wouldn't it be cool if the fountain had like a tree motif?
Right, exactly. It's sort of a standard, you know, kind of Numenor, you know, with the wings and stuff. Standard, you know, kind of Gondorian motif
Gondor
fountain.
/ Dol Amroth, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Gondor / Dol Amroth.
I have a question. What is on Mount Mindalluin, way out in the background?
Oh, where this one? What do you mean, what's on it?
Well, I'm looking past the Tower of Ecthelion, and there's something up on the side of the mountain.
A beacon?
Maybe.
Where?
There looks like a structure.
Oh yeah, it does look like a structure. Over here. They're standing.
Like way off in the distance. It's like, wait a minute, what's that?
Looks like a little village.
Oh. I think it's something in the foothills. Or like
Yeah. Good for skiing and has good yogurt.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's not up on the slopes of the mountain. It looks like it is more in the foreground.
I don't know. Can we visit?
Yeah. Edith is thinking that might be the place where Aragorn and Gandalf found the tree. There wasn't a structure. At least there's no structure described in the book, but that doesn't mean there couldn't be one. Of course, the place is meant to be real secret, and if it could be seen from a distance like this from the city, if anyone standing here could have seen it at any point, someone would surely have discovered it.
Not everyone had access to this tier, though.
Right, true, but I mean, somebody would have noticed it and probably taken a wander up there.
It's probably just a suburb.
Okay, folks are saying that it's part of the allegiance questing that you haven't got to yet because it's Mordor stuff.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Cool.
You can tell I haven't done this quest myself.
Me neither. I'm slowly working my way through Ithilien right now with Linus.
I will say
Finally
we're about
got
to
through
spoil
Pelennor.
something here in a minute by
That's
running
okay.
out to the pier.
We've got to run out to the
fine.
pier. I am not anti-spoilers in general. Maybe don't go out of my way for them because it's fun to discover things on the stream. But of course, I am discovering it on the stream right now, so there we are. If I discover something that is a spoiler for something else, well, that's okay. It'll be just like what my wife said when she was pregnant and people would say, are you going to find out, you know, the sex of the baby, or are you going to be surprised? And she says, I will be surprised when I get the ultrasound.
I like your message. She's cool.
So anyway, so it's the same thing there. Wow, look at this. Oh, cool. So this is where the actual ceremony is going to be held?
Yep.
Neat.
View
Is
over
it me or is the
everything.
flag of the king looks different over here?
It is. The tree is in leaf.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and there's a sort of a brocade pattern underneath it. This is obviously the one Arwen worked on.
This is the real banner here, you think?
Look at all the detail on it.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking so.
Yeah. Yeah, so really cool then that she would make the white tree, not like the skeletal dead white tree, as is on our cloaks, but and was on the banner downstairs. But an actual
better view of it from the back side of the flag. Actually, when I pan my camera around, so I'm looking at it from the behind, as it were. It does, yeah. It's a lot more intricate on this side.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just want me to jump off, don't you?
You don't get anything for jumping off this time.
Sorry, I'm wanting to.
But they won't let you, Corey. Don't try.
It's okay. No, I'm just looking out over the Pelennor. That's all. I wanted to see. Look at the Brahmas all broken down.
Looks like the crown on the flag is also just a little golden as well. Yeah, Pelennor cleaned up nicely.
It did, yeah. As you see, there's been no restoration of the Ramas. The Ramas is still all broken down. They haven't rebuilt that yet, and they haven't started in on Osgiliath yet. But this, of course, is all to be expected. They've had plenty to do with planting and harvesting flowers, for crying out loud.
And putting up these really cool blue lanterns.
Which are reminiscent. The blueness of the lanterns, right, is reminiscent of the old Fëanorian lamps described in the Silmarillion. They're not, but
it is. It's like the 3 Silmarils.
Yeah, exactly. The 3 lights up here above is a nice thing.
Tony, that's actually a really good question.
Oh, let's see.
Yeah, is the other banner the banner of the House of Elrond?
Oh, yeah.
That's Gilgalad's shield, isn't it?
That,
it's
I believe,
like
has been used as the banner of the Free Peoples in the Battle of the Last Alliance.
Yeah, that's right, it was. I saw that one in the High Elf intro.
Yeah,
So,
it's hanging in Rivendell.
So this, and of course, Elrond, that is, was Gilgalad's herald in the Battle of the War of the Last Alliance. So could this actually be the banner, like the banner that Elrond himself carried into the Battle of the Last Alliance?
Yeah. Okay, well.
Gilgalad's banner.
Well, and in that case, sort of the line of the High Kings as well.
Exactly. So you've got the not only Rivendell, but of course, and the significance of the Last Alliance, right? That's the alliance between elves and men is certainly a good motif to be striking, at the wedding of Aragorn and Arwen, as well as it being, this sort of homage to her father and to the elvish roots as well. So you've got
that's Aragorn's roots as well.
Exactly right. So you've got the elves and essentially the banner of elves and the banner of men, indeed even the banner of the High King of the Elves and the banner of the King of Men. Very, very kingly motif here. It's fitting. Well, it looks the Elvish banner looks so rich and thick. It doesn't look like it's just fabric. It looks very like rich felt or something. The texture on it is really, really cool.
And you can also see the embroidery itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it stands out. It's 3D.
Yeah. Very cool. Awesome. Well, yeah, I really wanted to look out over the Pelennor and see how things were rendered here.
So it looks like they didn't need the rose bushes, but it's more of the rose bushes provide a boundary, I think.
Yeah. And this whole wooden platform built up here is interesting too, of course, to enable people to be not looking up quite so high. Cool. All right. Excellent. Loving to see. Nice to sort of survey things, because now I'm glad that I came out here first, because now when we come out here for the wedding itself, I'll be able to pay attention to the people, and I won't be ignoring Aragorn and Arwen to look at the banners, which would seem rude.
Yeah.
And you cheerfully overlook the one thing I was concerned that you'd see ahead of schedule, but we'll see it when we get back.
Oh, good. Well, there's so much to see, and
I know.
I'm sure I'm missing lots of things. But I will be glad to come through here other times.
Yeah, this instance is available, and it's permanent, so you can always come back and, take a deeper look sometime if you felt the inclination.
Yeah,
With
and I know.
Amazing music by Bill Champagne, the game's composer and head of QA.
And I know that, of course, Griff will make it here someday.
And so will Narnian.
That's true. So will Narnian. Okay, should we go into the throne room?
Yeah.
Is that where we're meant to go?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Did you say there were hobbits up here?
Maybe.
I didn't see any, but there's such a throng.
I'm sure they'll be pointed out to us in a bit.
Yeah.
Oh, here they are.
We'll visit them. We'll visit them as part of the quest.
The little circlets of silver on their heads.
Is that Sting Frodo's wearing?
Yep.
Must
I
be,
believe
I assume.
it. Well, I don't. Yeah, it's definitely more ornate than the other sword.
Yeah, I don't think I ever saw the hilt of Sting before.
Me neither.
Yeah, different sheaths on the two weapons, and Frodo's is definitely more ornate.
More Gondolin.
Yeah. And it's gold instead of silver.
A little bit more Gondolin, yeah.
Mm. I mean, I think it's partly that we're so used to remembering what Sting looked like in the Jackson movies. We always think anything that's not the same is not right, but it has to not look the same. It's not part of the license.
Right.
I like this version too. It does look like the sort of, ornate craftsmanship you expect.
Yeah, yeah.
For Turgon's letter opener.
Yeah, letter opener, honestly. Probably didn't have letters. They probably had oral tradition.
Right. Besides, in Gondolin, who are you going to write letters to?
Honestly, you're all shut-ins.
Exactly. Just
Maybe
walk down the street and visit them for crying
Gondolin.
out loud.
Yeah, I know. There's the throne room.
My goodness, it's brighter.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did they open up, skylights?
They probably washed the skylights.
Right.
All that ash from the dawnless day and whatnot.
No, I'm serious. That's something you have to do with
True.
With Windows every couple 100 years. They got buildup from all the candles and giant braziers.
I think there's also a lighting issue in the game and some of the stuff where things are overly bright.
It works here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it does.
It's a wonderful
God,
effect here.
Gorgeous.
Man, look at
all of the banners.
Yeah, all the banners of the different principalities of
I don't even
Gondor.
recognize some of these.
Did I see the Breaking Wave one?
Yeah.
The Breaking Wave and the Three Hills look new to me.
Is that like Círdan's banner?
No, I think these must be Gondorian regions because the rest of them are. I mean,
Maybe.
There's Forlong's banner with the roses, and I forget whose banner it is with the fist, but I recall that one.
Yeah, I remember the fist.
And there's Dol Amroth with the ship.
There's Blackroot Vale right by us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
With the Stone of Eric on it.
Yep, right up there.
Ringlow Vale is the fish, I think.
Yep, Ringlow.
Exactly.
Yep.
I don't remember the wave or the hills.
I remember the Three Hills. Yeah.
With Numenorian stars on them.
Yep.
Oh, the down,
Yeah, they are Numenorian
Ivy
stars.
and a sunburst.
Yeah.
In very hobbity colors.
Yeah, that's a lovely banner. Maybe Pelargir is the wave, but I don't remember seeing. I'm when I see that, I feel like I've never seen it before. The others I recall, like all of the rest of these I recall. Like there's the Moon of Ithilien, and I don't remember where the wavy lines, the river one, but I remember seeing it.
Yeah. And the Dol Amroth ship.
I think some of them actually you can find out by looking at the collections, and because they have horses based on those areas now.
Yeah, I've seen horses and armor. There's also armor and capes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, the wedding planner. Awesome. Yeah. Yeah.
No, Anorian is the red tree, Tony Mead. But good question.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Anorian is the red one, right? The one I'm...
Yeah, because that's basically Anarian and Isildur.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But also, all of these have this delicate filigree on it now that we don't see during wartime.
Yes.
It's like they've had time to sit down and pretty it up and use the finest cloths and...
Yeah.
Well, it's midsummer, so the fall happened on March 25th, right? So it's middle of the year now. They've had a couple months.
But they've had time for leisurely things now. Things that give them joy rather than build up their defenses.
Excellent. My goodness, I guess there is a little bit of a brightness issue. Things are a little bit washed out. But hey, as you say, it's just like bathed in radiance here. It's all good.
Yeah, that's his own holy light.
Yeah. King Elessar, King of Gondor. Awesome.
I am pleased you could return to my city with war safely behind us.
That's right. We cannot lower our guard overmuch, it is true, but Mithrandir and the Council of Gondor both assure me that the threat of further war is at a low ebb for now. My mind therefore turns from martial matters to those of the heart, for a day long prepared is nearly upon us. As you well know, Arwen, my betrothed, travels even now to Minas Tirith, where we shall be wedded before all of Gondor, and she will be the queen of my kingdom. Long have we waited for this day. It is very important to me and to my love that the ceremony be conducted properly, but my knowledge of such matters is not sufficient. Mithrandir insists that he has an understanding of the rituals, but some members of the council questioned the depth of his knowledge concerning the customs of Gondor. Absolutely. What does he know? The council therefore...
Just read our libraries.
I know, exactly. The council therefore selected a number of Gondorian representatives to decorate the city and make ready the ceremony. Yes, a number of representatives must have decorated the city indeed, a large number. The woman responsible for the wedding ceremony is named... yes, is named Rodwin, and I would ask you to lend her your able assistance if you have the time and inclination. Hey, I've been running your errands for so long, Aragorn, that, you know... It would seem wrong not to be running.
Give me the laundry list. I got this.
Absolutely. Okay, Arwen will soon be here with her household, and I want all the preparations to be made before she arrives.
Ooh.
Okay.
So I think it did occur to me, all the people waving outside, they're probably just waiting to see the line of celebrities.
Right.
You know, like Theoden and the Elven entourage.
You mean it wasn't about the artichokes and potatoes after all?
Probably not, but I could be wrong.
All right. Okay. All right, Rodwin. So wait, it's called Book 1, Chapter 1? Interesting.
Of this particular...
It's Volume 9, or Volume 5.
Volume 9?
Sorry,
Yeah.
5.
No, 5, yeah. Okay.
5.
All right. Well, see, so I'm not that far behind. I'm actually on Volume 4, Book 7. It's only Volume 5?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Volume 4 is a long one.
Yeah.
I guess so. Volume 4 goes all the way through...
Yep.
All the way through Mordor and everything?
There and back again for Mordor. It's amazing.
Wow.
Yikes. Like 30 books in it?
Let's see, so Holliger is asking if I recognize Rodwin. No. Should I?
She'll hint at it. Yeah, we've all met her before.
Yes, hello.
Oh.
Don't say it, chat.
Okay, let's see. You are to help me make ready the wedding ceremony. I assure you we have things well in hand. She's visibly nervous. Well, okay. Let us meet somewhere to discuss the preparations. There's no point in disturbing the king with such details. Surely you agree. Uh-oh, is there a problem? There's always a problem in wedding planning. Let us find a quiet spot to discuss them. Leave the Tower of Icthelion and turn north. You'll see a doorway spanned by a garland of flowers. That is not very specific. Slip past that garland. Right. So it's we'll meet outside by the flowers. That's where we'll meet. Okay.
Yeah, that's helpful.
Climb the steps to the wall.
Okay. But it's a white stone wall.
Oh, okay. Okay. Right. Yeah. So there's...
So the wedding planning is going so well, she needs to meet us in a clandestine location to discuss it.
That's a good sign. It's got to be good news.
Warning. Yeah. Well, I do consider she's probably never planned a wedding for a king before.
Yeah, well, I mean, nobody really has experience planning, a wedding like this.
I don't know. Rule number 1 is have a toddler at the wedding who's going to do something really weird and obnoxious, and then everyone will just relax and loosen up.
That's true. Or dogs. Dogs are good for that, too.
Oh, yeah, dogs are good, too.
The last wedding I went to was my nephew's wedding, and he and his bride... Okay, yeah.
Sit over here?
Yeah, Druid's Fire, I would never have found this.
Nobody did.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. I literally went the wrong way around to get to this the first time I did it, so yeah.
Yeah, I guess if you just get up on the wall, you'll eventually find her, right?
She's going to push us off so we can never tell that she doesn't know what she's doing.
That's right. Exactly. Thanks for coming up here.
When people want to meet me in secret locations next to a 700-foot drop, I get nervous.
Without any witnesses? Yeah.
Rodwin, I did tell people I was coming here. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to say my nephew and his bride had their 2 dogs as their ring bearers, so they had their rings tied to their collars, and again, dogs straining at their leashes going down the aisle lightens everything up. So try that, Rodwin. Maybe dogs.
Is it true you can read the truth?
Okay, I've heard of your many heroic deeds. Word of your adventures has spread throughout the land. Is it true that you can read the truth in someone's face despite their words? Why do you ask? Are you trying to lie to me?
That's a weird thing to ask.
Sure is. Rodwin's face is pale and you need no special ability to determine how nervous she is in your presence. Then I will just tell you, for you are sure to find out anyway. I was an adventurer for hire, a champion of Gondor. My friends and I sought to earn coin by lending our swords and our skill to folks in need, but we weren't very good at it. Our guardian Droffley was more brave than sensible. Our minstrel Quillen never did learn the value of silence when enemies were about. And I have waylaid my sword at inappropriate moments. More than once, I confess it, when the war ended. Wait, so she was one of the ones that we met in Parthgalen?
Yes!
Wow!
Oh, fantastic.
The Awkward Fellowship.
The Awkward Fellowship from Parthgalen. That's
right.
Fantastic. That's fantastic. When the war ended, we decided it was best for all if we were to leave the adventuring life behind us. Quillen took up farming, the dear fellow, but it was a short-lived experiment that he has left that behind too. He's good at nothing, unfortunately. That's too bad. So we all came to settle within the White City, and through a series of misunderstandings and some ill-advised boasting, my friends and I caught the attention of the Council of Gondor. The next thing I know, our lore master, Isteron, I remember he's the one in the bug caves, right?
Yeah.
Is speaking before those noble lords and ladies, insisting we are expert wedding planners all. What do I know about weddings? Little enough. So we have stumbled our way into something of a real adventure, and if we cannot perfect this wedding ceremony, we will be in real trouble. Okay.
What a relief it is to hear
you try talking to Gandalf, because that's what he wanted to do in the first place.
Exactly. Every wedding should be perfect, of course, but the weight of responsibility for this particular wedding is even greater, for all the eyes of the kingdom will be upon it. It means a great deal to me that you will not betray our secret. With your help, it should not matter that my friends and I know so little about such preparations. Already I have sent them throughout the city to get whatever help they can. Here, Wiggin, I have penned some letters of introduction authorizing you to work on my behalf in all wedding-related matters. Bring these to our lore master, Isteron, and he will tell you how best you can help us. You shall find him outside the Tower of Icthelion in the Plaza of the Fountain. Okay. Well, that is fun. So, it really doesn't say much for the Council of Gondor that, they didn't,
That a bragging lore master was able to...
A bragging lore master from out of town just came in and is like, oh yeah, we're expert wedding
I'm an
planners.
expert on all things Gondor.
Yeah,
oh, exactly. He's a lore master. Look at his bear. He must know what he's talking about.
Right. He has a pet. He must be qualified. Okay, Isteron. Oh, the mustache. Hard to forget the mustache.
Yeah.
You are here to help plan for the great wedding? Good,
Absolutely.
Good.
There's so much to be done, but do not let that frighten you away. I have often found that the largest tasks are the most rewarding, just as so long as you do not give up before you have begun. You ask Isteron if he needs any help researching wedding customs, and he blinks at you, the smile frozen on his face. Oh no, I gave up on that, he replies. Kufaron and I did learn some interesting tidbits from a number of hobbits over there, but I did not find their advice very promising. Their hobbit traditions felt very quaint to me, not at all appropriate for such a grand wedding as this must be. But you are welcome to consult with them if you like. They are to the south of the Tower of Ithilien, I believe. Okay, yes.
Once again, we're in Gondor and we're asking the hobbits about
That's
Gondor
right, yep.
tradition.
This is...
We've literally asked everyone except Gondorians.
Okay. So it's not Frodo and Sam we're supposed to talk to?
Well,
No, okay, there it is. Their rings just appeared. Okay. Hey there, Frodo and Sam. We were just looking at you. Why? So Sam is still wearing his cloak.
Mm-hmm.
But Frodo is not. That's interesting.
And if you squint really, really close at Frodo's model, he does not have all 10 fingers. It's easier to see if you're a hobbit, but you know.
He's got him curled under there.
Yeah. It takes some doing to actually squint close enough.
Yeah.
Huh.
Trying to get the right angle on his hand. Oh, there we go. Got it.
Huh.
Yeah. Yep, only 3 fingers on his right hand. I mean, and the thumb. But like the... Yeah. There we go. That's cool. Attention to detail. Gotta love it.
Yep.
Okay. Hey, Frodo, what do you think?
How nice to see you during a time of celebration and not during a time of war.
You tell Frodo that you are helping Rodwin and her companions with the preparations for the great wedding, and he nods thoughtfully. That is very good of you. Aragorn is dear to me. You said that in Rivendell way back when.
Yep.
And I want his wedding to be all for which he and his bride might hope. Are Rodwin and our companions up for such a challenge? I have spoken with a number of them now, and in each of these planners, I admit to you, I have recognized something. They are in over their heads, just as I was during the Quest of the Ring. Just as were we all. Well, that turned out all right in the end.
Yeah.
So too might the wedding ceremony. If there is anything we can do, Wiggin, let us know, and we will help. Okay, I was coming to you for help, but okay, I guess you don't have any to offer. Sam, what do you think?
There has been a lot of wedding chatter in the air, you know.
Well, yes, people would be talking about it, I imagine. I'll have you know it's not the easiest thing for this Gamgee to talk about. That's a sensitive topic, is it, Sam? Yeah.
Has emotions in it.
Somewhere else, there's somebody who's been waiting for you since the spring. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Take that Isteron fellow. He spoke on and on about how grand this wedding should be and how it'll be talked about for years and years, and maybe that's so, but I can't help but wonder if that's not the most important thing. Maybe I'm just a hobbit with hobbit ideas, but it seems to me that the wedding should be just as Arwen and Strider want it to be. Does it matter what the kingdom thinks of it or for how long it's talked about? He falls silent and sniffs the air. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, Mr. Frodo and I weren't the only hobbits who spoke to the wedding planners. Merry and Pippin talked to them too. That's bound to turn out well. And when they finished, they went off laughing, looking very pleased with themselves about something. It might be worth looking into, Wiggin. You know, they should have Pippin deliver the staff of Illuminus. The scepter of Illuminus. Be like, I'm done with it now, Aragorn. Here you go. So for those of you who aren't familiar, there's a really wonderful one of my favorite quests in the game when the company is still in Rivendell. So your character goes chronologically parallel to the story. So when you get to Rivendell, it's during the time that the company's in Rivendell, and there's this wonderful quest where Pippin borrows the scepter of Illuminus and uses it as a walking stick, not realizing what it is. And it's a delightful quest. So anyway, okay. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, it's right over. I said that. Okay, those two are always causing trouble of some kind or another, and if you follow the smell of their pipe smoke, you'll get to the bottom of it. Okay. And although I see lots of things, the smell of pipe smoke is
hard to see.
Yeah. We don't have the smell-o-vision here.
It is interesting. He's not interested in weddings that the whole town will be talking of, since that seemed to very much be a very hobbity goal.
Right.
Especially with, they talk about the old, everyone's still talking about the old Took's fireworks and Bilbo's parties.
Right. Okay, boy, yeah, they were well concealed. Thank you for guiding us, Druid's Fire. I really don't know how long it would have taken me to stumble across Merry and Pippin here. Which direction are we looking? We're looking almost east, so this is due east? Here? Okay. Oh, the sun is going down.
This is good.
It's the gloaming.
Uh-huh. The moon is up and something else will be rising shortly.
Good day to you, Wiggin. Why don't you stay a while and have a smoke? There's room for all. What's on your mind, friend? You ask Merry and Pippin about the preparations for the upcoming wedding, and they share a conspiratorial look before doubling over with laughter. When Merry has once again caught his breath, he apologizes and tries to answer your question. It's going to be a real sight to see, Wiggin. It seems to us that those wedding planners might not have actually been to a real wedding before. And Pip and I have been to plenty. We're real experts on the subject, you might say. So we gave Couveron a detailed account of the most important Shire wedding traditions. It was the right thing to do, wasn't it, Pip? How did they go again? Oh, boy.
Well, Mary, everyone knows that a Shire wedding, you've got to follow the traditions.
There are 4 elements that must be present if the ceremony is to be a success. The bride needs to carry or wear something old, right? And then she should pair it with something new, which represents the new life she's starting with her husband. But isn't it a little insensitive to say that, the 2,500-year-old bride needs to wear something old? Merry nods solemnly, which causes Pippin to break out into laughter again before resuming. And then she needs something borrowed as well, maybe a garment or cloth or a small pocket item of some kind. And then most important of all, everything has to be blue. The 2 hobbits start laughing again, and through their gales of laughter, you can just make out gasps of everything blue. All the decorations, everything. They've got to be blue.
Oh boy. Well, I suppose I don't know if it would make much sense to an elf. It's just kind of like something old. You mean like 1,000 years or like?
Right, exactly. Define old. When you say something old.
Yeah. Which age should it be from?
Yeah.
That sort of thing. But at the same time, it does make sense. This would be a very hobbity ritual, though, because I believe it's really old custom. So. Yeah. I could see this fitting with the Hobbit folk for sure. I don't know if it's English. It might be older than that.
I'm digging Merry's vertical stripes there. It's like Pippin is still in his Gondorian armor, and Merry's now in like a Rohan leisure suit. Yeah.
Well, no, it's got the Rohan stripes on it. See, it's got
Rohan
sort of the
racing stripes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I really like the cuffs of his pants. Where can I hang it? There Cool. All right.
Wow.
Okay, so we have to find Couveron before he tries to paint the entire city blue.
Or take down every single pink flower broken.
That's right. Oh, no, I just fell off. Just Rivendelled the staircase. Okay, we're fine.
This is
we're
not
fine.
quite as terrible as that.
We're fine. Yeah, okay. All right.
Not exactly hobbitry. This is just more of a prank at this point.
Yeah, exactly. It's not the kind of hobbitry we've talked about. Like they're just kind of like giving each other a hard time.
It's bro humor.
All right.
Oh my goodness! Look at all the Dol
Right.
stuff.
Right. We're definitely going to be biased in the favor of some. What does Legolas think of this?
Not everyone is as familiar with.
Not everyone is as familiar with our hobbits as we are. Pile of
Well,
decorations.
at least he's trying not to laugh. That's pretty funny.
Yes. Overwhelmingly blue. Okay, no, I'm supposed to talk to my voice now.
Not everyone is as familiar with our hobbits.
Okay, so
as we are.
the something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue thing. The earliest recorded version is late 19th century Victorian era, which would fit with hobbits exactly. Actually,
Yeah.
I thought it'd be older than that. I'm like, you sure it wasn't like in the works of Pliny or something?
Right. Yeah. No, interesting. Victorian, huh? So it is fairly modern, but you're right. I mean that Victorian countryside is definitely what Tolkien envisioned for the hobbits. Okay, not everyone is familiar with the hobbits as we are. Am I right to suggest that this must be the doing of a certain brandy bucket took of our acquaintance? Yes.
Those hobbits weren't really wedding experts at all, were they?
Where says Kuvaron with some suspicion. Hang on a second. I want to turn up the voiceover. Where is my voiceover? Oh, it's already up. Okay. Not really experts at all. There's a lot of that going around these days.
Was any of the advice those hobbits gave to me truthful?
I need to come up with a good use for these decorations. There has to be something. But now I have a more urgent worry. Was any of the advice those hobbits gave to me truthful? They spoke of someone called Gandalf, a wizard they claimed to be in this very city, and said his fireworks cannot be missed. Is it true? You assure Kuvaron that Gandalf is indeed a master of the art, and his fireworks have a truly remarkable reputation for excellence. You say he has likely heard of the wizard before, for in these lands he goes by another name. Mithrandir! Oh, yes, I know of this wizard, although I did not know he dabbled in the construction of fireworks. Perhaps you can find him for me and ask if he will contribute some of his finest creations to set off the wedding ceremony. I saw him recently in this circle of the city. Look for him to the west. All right.
Okay.
Let us find Gandalf.
That was the poor minstrel who gave up farming to do this.
Right. All right. Looking radiant, Gandalf. Looking radiant. My fireworks? I am sorry, Wigan, but you may remember that it was a time of war until very recently. When Shadowfax bore me hither with young Peregrine Took, I did not have the luxury to bring any fireworks along with me. You apologize for disturbing him, and the wizard raises his eyebrows at you with apparent amusement. Are you always in such a rush that you cannot wait for an old man to finish speaking? I said I did not bring any fireworks with me on the ride from Rohan. I did not say I no longer possessed any. Indeed, I have collected one or two such devices during the time since the war ended, and I have stored them in a small crate in my quarters. Now, there are not as many as I would like. It was my custom when lighting such crackers in the Shire to really fill the night sky with illumination. That was both for the delight of the hobbits and for my own, if I am speaking honestly. But perhaps the few crackers I have assembled will still bring some small measure of enjoyment to the attendees of the wedding. Go to my quarters in the high guest house in the 7th circle and empty the crate of its contents, and I will see what can be done. High guest
Not
house.
one to blow up his own fireworks.
7th circle, yes. Okay. So which circle, what number circle is this? I'm forgetting.
The top.
This is
We walked past it when we went to see Rodwin.
Okay. Yes, that's right.
We should probably do a giveaway shortly.
True.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
we are. Someone was asking if we brought presents for the wedding, and we did bring presents for the wedding. Not for Aragorn and Arwen, perhaps, but for our viewers.
It's traditional. Give presents to the guests.
We're giving presents to the guests. So it's we're going to be doing a couple drawings. A bunch of drawings over the course of the day. We're going to be giving away a couple different things. So we have a bunch of LOTRO points to give out to folks playing the game. And many thanks to Standing Stone for very generously providing presents for the occasion there in the form of LOTRO points to give out. And we also have some Signum presents where I'm going to be giving away a few times during the day. I'm going to be giving a free online admission ticket to the regional moot of your choice during the coming year. So we have our first online regional moot that's happening in October, and in we'll be doing more moots in the spring. In the from the beginning of the year, and we're waiting to see if we may actually be able to attend in person. But even when we do, there will still be online admission to those. So, okay, let's see. So,
I got it.
All right. So. Yeah, so what you do, for those of you who are new, as Moobot just said in the Twitch chat, if you're on the Twitch channel, just type in !raffle with no space in between, and it will enter you in the drawing, and then we will have Moobot draw the winner.
We could do 2 winners if we're doing LOTRO points. I turned Cordovan upside down, shook out his pockets.
Oh, nice. There's the first banner of Rohan I've noticed here. Right. So you've got Rohan and Anorian and Ithilien there.
Interesting that it's like above theirs.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's prominently in the center, and yeah, interesting. Boy, it's dark in here. Mm-hmm. The Skylight Washers didn't get around to this one, I think. Okay.
When you come back out,
wrong time of day. Well, it's nighttime outside.
Yes, there's something in the sky you'll want to see.
All right, it's nighttime outside.
When you get back out.
Right. Indoor fountains. Nice. Wow, look
I
at
have to wonder about the irrigation of Minas Tirith, that they have all these indoor fountains like everywhere.
Yeah.
We get to see their sewer system up and close and personal.
Oh, yeah, right. If you do the dailies.
Oh, look at the catering. Wow.
Yeah, most of those are actually housing decorations. Some of those, yeah.
Oh. Wine terrines full of soup.
What's the red stuff? Is that stew?
Stew or...
Like a cobbler?
Like some kind of like fruit compote or something? I'm not really sure what it is.
Looks like tomato salad.
Maybe. Unlike in Rohan, it's not just like piles of meat on the table.
I love the tree and brandished on all of the dishes and stuff.
Yes.
I want a Gondor tree crockpot set.
Exactly. Yeah. A Gondorian terrine. That would be nice.
Yeah. Wow, we got a big room.
This is Gandalf's suite?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Look at the crate.
Looks like it's little rooms divided by curtains. Like
love
each
the
of these
roads.
is a different room. Oh, it's got it. I have that as a tattoo.
Okay, all right. Got some dwarf candles.
Oh, no, you need to hit it a few
times.
times.
Keep going. Okay,
yeah,
and some elf fountains.
It's like a box of holding.
Right. Are there any goblin barkers? Yes, there are. How about some thunderclaps? Can I get some thunderclaps? Absolutely.
Yeah,
very good.
thunderclaps.
Okay. All right.
Squibs.
Assorted squibs, right? Right.
Actually, the quest text in the corner keeps going on and on about how there can't be any more in there.
Right. How many could there be?
It's Time Lord technology, man.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, it's a pretty big box.
Yeah.
Handheld sparklers. Oh, okay.
It's definitely going to make a good finale, if not a show.
It's like little quiches.
Little mini
personal
quiches.
Or is it bowls of soup? I mean, it just kind of look like chicken noodle soup in this one terrain.
This looks like stir fry.
I don't think they have the concept of stir fry in Middle Earth.
It's called bubble and squeak in other countries. It's
well, actually,
it's leftovers. Leftover
Bubble
pancakes.
and Squeak is actually a cook recipe
Yep.
in the game.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I do.
You wouldn't be serving leftovers to the fancy important guests.
I do really like the.
It's coleslaw.
The tree tureen. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very nice. Okay. All right. Now we gotta head.
I wonder
back
if these
to
are like
Gandalf.
commemorative wedding ceramics, like you get in
Right.
I think they are actually.
especially committed by the High Potter.
Right. Right.
Now, before we go running down the hill, let's look up in the sky.
Okay.
Find the moon and look close to the moon. Actually, directly overhead.
Yeah. Yeah. I need to get over here. I think.
Okay, kind of twist your camera around. You should see something bright in the sky.
Ah, right overhead.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah!
Awesome.
And this
That's
is the only
enchanting.
place you see that.
You can only see Earendil's star from here.
Yeah,
Yep.
in Midsummer Minas Tirith.
Oh, that is
The
cool.
first time I saw it, Darth Celtics, Bill Champagne was in my chat because I was, doing this the very first time they opened it up, and I was like, "Is that Earendil? Is that?" I was freaking out, spazzing out in chat, and then he pinged Maid of Lions to confirm that yes, it was. I'm like, so cool.
Yep. That
We are
is
such
cool.
nerds.
The star of Earendil shining down on Gondor for the wedding.
Yeah, and it more or less keeps pace with the moon.
It's good that the the bride's grandfather could be in attendance.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if Elrond looked up and saw his father in the sky and be like, "Hi, Dad. How you doing?"
I'm sure it does.
And of course, Aragorn's long ago ancestor as well through Elros.
Yep. Yep.
It's those nice touches is why I like Standing Stone so much. They love us.
Yeah. They really do think about
Yeah.
The-
No, that is
the poetry of pictures.
that is an excellent
Oh,
touch.
Phil has a great question. Do you think Elwing went along on this trip? Yes.
Yeah.
I think they would allow I think the Valar would allow Elwing to go on this one for sure.
Oh yeah.
I mean, does she always, or does she stay behind? I seem to recall she stayed behind.
Yeah, she generally stays behind. But that was something when Tolkien was finalizing as if he ever finalized it, the Earendil and Elwing story. There were a bunch of different versions of that. Some of them less, some much more tragic. There were a bunch of versions of the story where he lost Elwing and spent like the whole rest of time like searching for her, essentially. So I'm glad, the one that he's settled on, which essentially, is manifested in the Silmarillion, is that she lives in her tower, but he can dock and visit, so she doesn't go with him on his regular voyages in the stars, but it's not like they're separated and cut off from each other forever. But yeah, Phil, I think it, you got to think that there might be some extra sightseers who went along this time on this particular trip. Okay, let's see.
I am
But
sorry
wouldn't
there
Mandos
were
have
so
to
few
let
fireworks
Dyer
to
go
gather
with
up.
them because Dyer is dead and he'd be in the halls of Mandos?
Well, unless he's come out,
no.
he died a long time ago, so he could easily be re-embodied by now.
Yeah,
Fair.
we don't know if there's a you can get a day pass out of the Halls of Mandos.
Well, I'm pretty sure you can't get a day pass out of the Halls of Mandos, but you can get a permanent pass out of the Halls of Mandos easily enough. Well, I say easily enough. Some can't, of course. There's some who are prevented ever coming, and there are some who choose never to come. We can be sure Feanor's not on the ship because he does not have a pass from the Halls of Mandos, but we can be sure Finwë isn't on the ship. But apart from that, the others are probably, many of them are probably out now. Okay, let's see. You express your surprise that the wizard could count such an armful of fireworks as merely a few. When Mithrandir responds, it is with a twinkle in his eye and laughter in his voice. You must have never seen one of my fireworks displays before. These few will have to do.
But on to other matters.
This is the first time we do get to see a Gandalf fireworks.
It's true. Some time ago, I observed our friend Gimli walking with one of Rodwin's companions, a dwarf I know to be called Drofli Broadshield. I greeted them both, and Gimli responded heartily that he and his new friend were going to see to the Splintered Shield and that they might be some time away. I asked them, and Gimli responded that they planned to determine the words Alessar and his bride should use to bind their love during the ceremony. Yeah, 2 drunken dwarves are whom you want writing your vows.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good plan. We will not emerge until we have settled upon just the right words for their vow, he proclaimed, and I suspect he meant it. Perhaps you should go to this tavern and check on our dwarves. It will not do for Gimli to miss the wedding, and if he keeps his eye on the ale and not on the sun, he very well might. The Splintered Shield is in the second circle. Okay.
Yeah, this can't go wrong.
All right, so...
You going to the stable master? Or?
Yeah, wait, which way to the stable master?
Yeah. This way,
right? Yeah, that's what I thought.
And they moved the stable master on this tier to the other end of the tier.
Did they?
Yep. They figured to put the stable master where the stables were.
Oh.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Except the other one was more convenient to where it held the
yeah.
blessing we do, but
There is that. So, second tier? Is that the soldiers tier?
These are troublesome times indeed.
Okay. Oh, hey.
They didn't unlock.
They didn't unlock. They didn't look
Yeah,
locked.
they didn't.
They were colored like unlocked ones.
If we go down to the city stables, which is the one down
I can
yeah.
throw coin it. It's fine.
Or you can do that.
Okay. For me, that's fine.
I've got a bunch of mithril coins here. So which one is it? The soldiers tier?
Yeah, I think so. Splintered Shield. We can look at our map and see.
The map is actually wrong.
No.
The name is under the tier itself, which is very strange.
Oh, okay.
So it's the workers tier?
We don't have a stable to the workers tier, so I don't think so.
Okay, I'm going to the soldiers tier then.
Yep.
Yeah, it's probably best.
Okay. All right.
How may I help you,
Oh, look,
friend?
they're all open from here. That's weird. Huh.
Very
How
puzzling.
strange. Okay.
But at least we're on the right tier.
That's fine. All right. So we're looking for, all right, drunken dwarves composing vows.
Like you do.
I love how they're making each of these little obelisks look like fountains with the buntings here.
Yep.
That's cool.
I think we're almost there. And that's the. Oh, yeah, there's a Splintered Shield.
Wow, the streets here are deserted.
They're all in the bar.
Nobody dancing here. Okay, well, here we go. All right, we got some people celebrating right in here. There we go. I was going to say, if nobody's dancing on this tier, I'm going to begin to think there's something wrong. Oh, but I see, look at this spread here. Wow. Oop.
There's some pheasant and bread and turkey and ham.
Figs.
Deviled eggs.
Lots of fruit salad. All the crusty
Greens.
bread.
Taters. I see some scallops here.
Yeah.
Right.
Green beans and breadcrumbs and roast beast. Fish. So the fishmonger's been here. Don't eat the fish.
Hey, I don't think.
There's Danishes.
I don't think we need to worry.
They got Danishes over here.
You got Danishes.
They do.
We do have Danishes. You're right.
Poppy seed filling.
Got lemon-coated fish over here.
Oh yeah, it's gosh, it looks like taiyaki. That's totally taiyaki.
So I was looking at the Gondorian stars on the fish platter here.
Oh, there's a fish pastry here that looks like Japanese street food, taiyaki.
There's like a honey cake of some kind, I'm guessing.
One of those, maybe
Danishes, turnover. Oh, I see the fish thing. Yeah, definitely taiyaki. Bacon flapjacks.
Yeah.
Definitely some strawberry Danishes and blackberry Danishes over here.
I think there's a concha in there.
Is this a Yorkshire pudding?
Adonde? Where?
Right here next to the Tower of Pastry.
No.
No, that's a plum pudding.
It's a plum pudding.
Plum pudding with
That's a big old plum pudding.
Okay. I haven't had Yorkshire pudding in like 25 years, so.
Yorkshire pudding's more like a pancake with sausages sticking out of it. Well, the sausages are if you get toad in the hole.
Nice.
Right, toad in the hole.
With a slab butter next to it, some fruit.
Yeah, those are more like popovers or like big bready
biscuit,
eggy muffins.
Yeah, exactly. The feast is making me hungry here too.
I know.
Okay.
Well,
see, you're hungry. I'm just sitting there thinking I gotta cook Christmas dinner this year.
While you're doing that, I'm gonna give away presents in Twitch chat.
Yeah, let's do that.
Exclamation point raffle to get your entries in for one of two codes.
Last chance.
For 500 LOTRO points.
That's right. Love all the shields.
Recognize some of the tapestries in here.
Yeah, we got the swan set.
I'm so not quoting the tapestries quote from Indiana Jones.
How dare she?
More food, man.
Oh, little pheasant.
Yeah, the pheasant with the tail sticking out.
Yep. Toiki. Squab.
All right, here goes. Good luck.
Okay. There we go. Let's see. And
that is a pie with a fish sticking out of it.
Who wins? Let's see. The suspense. Nettlebrew.
Ooh, well done.
Nettlebrew and Lord Brian. All right. Congratulations.
All right, you two. I will be sending you a Twitch Whisper with a code. Make sure you let me know that the code works okay.
This is a spacious pub.
Yeah. Looks like a lot of it's being used for storage of more barrels.
Oh, they're the dwarves.
Yep.
Didn't notice them. Uh-oh.
Well,
Much progress being made. Much progress.
Yeah.
Waking dwarf. Yes.
You have found us.
Well, to be fair, we are seeing lots of books around and not beers, so.
You have found us. Hard at work. It is true. All the folk here in this tavern have been helping us to find the finest vows to be spoken by Aragorn at his wedding. Alessar, you know who I mean. The ale here is quite good. It was Drophley's idea to reward every perfect sentence with a mug.
Not a drink, a mug.
Right. That's not good pacing, Drophley, I gotta say. You better wake him up. We have so many good words from which to choose.
Oh boy. Wouldn't it be fun to write a paper that way?
Yeah, exactly.
Getting less coherent as you go.
Yeah, if I would not have made it too far through our accreditation documentation if I proceeded that way.
I have.
Just do it the Tolkien way and have your wife reward you with a kiss.
We should have the proprietor provide this ale for the wedding feast, as many barrels as he can spare, and that should be no small number. A wedding such as this only comes along but rarely. Yet, rarely. That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ask him this, Wiggand, ask him, and it will be the very finest of celebrations. Why, if I have anything to say about it, it will be nearly as rowdy as a dwarf wedding. The King of Gondor should be so fortunate. Yes, more beer. That's what they need at the wedding, clearly.
Well, that's fair. Yeah.
It's not that there's no argument to be made.
Yeah, it's not a Baptist wedding.
Okay. Oh, I have to talk to the proprietor. Okay.
Yeah, we got to talk to the landlord.
Oh, there he is over here.
There we go.
Well, he's lonely over here. Nobody at the bar?
I would be pleased to contribute a number of barrels for the wedding feast.
It is the least I can do for the king and his bride, and I do it gladly. Gondor is in need of such happiness as theirs after so much war. The dwarves are right on this account. The drink will loosen the tongues of all those at the feast, and the guests will frequently and at full voice toast the king's health and that of his elf bride. That is my promise to you. Right, rowdiness is what you're promising, right? Okay?
Yeah, okay.
Sure. Absolutely. Okay, Gimli. You have provided beer.
Well, that is settled. Now to decide on the proper vows for the ceremony.
Right. Will you gather up these papers? Joffrey and I wrote down some good options, and all of our friends here at the Splintered Shields contributed suggestions of their own, and now it is up to us to select the very best. Oh, boy. Messy papers. Oh, gotta gather up all the papers, huh? Just climbing up on the table.
That's the least of our problems in this bar. Oh no.
Okay.
Not on the table.
Let us see what
We're upsetting this bowl of small fish.
Gimli reads aloud from one of the papers. Your beauty is without compare, even among all the gems of the earth. That was one of mine. Do you like it? Together we will lay waste to our foes, and none will stand against us. Applaw. Now that I see it written down, I don't know about this one, Joffrey. What else? I pledge to love and serve you in all things. Pretty good, not bad. My love for you gives me the strength to what? This one isn't finished. Gimli shuffles through the stacks of papers, looking for more worthy vows. Let's see. True men of Gondor will not forget Castamere. What is this? Who wrote this? Hey, there's seditious vows? I don't know very much about this name.
When you sub out stuff.
Right, exactly. About this name Castamere, but I know it has something to do with a dark period in the history of Gondor. Corsair leaders calling themselves the heirs of Castamere caused us some problems on the journey from Rohan here to Minas Tirith, and I know it is a name that causes Aragorn some displeasure. That is enough for me. I do not need to know the particulars. For someone to invoke this name now, today? I do not like it, Wiggin. Some villain here in the Splintered Shield snuck this paper among the others, hoping to disrupt the wedding. Find out who has done this, and we will make them pay for it. Okay.
Now we're getting some action.
Exactly. Oh, this looks like the ringleader who doesn't... Oh, look at these people. Look unhappy. What's going on here, man of Gondor? You just approve of drunken dwarves, or what? No. All innocent, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Uh-oh. Boy.
Clearly they're allies, conspirators of the fishmonger.
Maybe. I don't know. This, this woman leading this, team of women, and that guy leading that... This is, looking like West Side Story about to break out here. I don't know. Yeah, they saw nothing either. Hang on, we got the bartender? Should always start with the bartender.
Yeah.
What is the trouble, friend?
I assure you that several of my finest barrels will be brought to the hall for the wedding feast. I am a man of my word, and I will see it done. All I ask is that these lords and ladies attending the feast know that it was Degillion? Soft G, I think? Degillion? Degillion, yeah, probably hard G. Of the Splintered Shield, who provided the drink. You tell Delgillion that someone slipped a reference to Castamere the Usurper among the papers on Gimli's table, while the dwarf and his companions were dozing. Men speak of Castamere in my tavern? This is an outrage! I'll have you know that we of the Splintered Shield are king's men all, and have nothing but respect for his bride-to-be, elf though she be. I say that with all the love in my heart, Whig, and if you find any who say otherwise, or even so much as think it, I will have them cast out upon the street, never welcome again within these walls, I swear it. Show me the man who speaks fondly of Castamere, the usurping Kingslayer, and I will report him to the guards of the citadel.
Just a fun fact here. I'm an elf, and he didn't mention anything about even though she's an elf.
Even though, I see, right? Okay. Right, he was tactfully silent on that point with you?
Yeah, but, you know, you're a man. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Nobody saw anything?
Nobody saw anything? I wager my axe could make them talk, but this is not my kingdom, and I should not wish to overstep my bounds. Not right before a wedding anyway. That's right, we'll do the threatening with axes after the wedding. Part of the after party. Castamere, bah, I remember the corsairs that invoked his name at Pelargir, Wigan, and none of them would be welcome at a wedding such as this. No, not even if they cleaned themselves up and wore their finest garb, though they did have some really nice-looking garb when they dressed up.
Yeah, they did.
They were cruel-hearted and evil-minded, and from my gathering it sounds like their idol Castamere was twice as bad. You should go tell Gandalf that there are some at least who might wish to disrupt Aragorn's wedding. Maybe our wizard could work some magic to sniff out these troublemakers and make them think better of it. I should say it is worth a try. If that does not do it, offer my axe in service of the task. That may prove even more effective than magic. Okay. We will see. Oh, man. Sedition afoot.
On this of all days.
So we're not only going to be running errands for the wedding planners. We're going to be actually doing heroic deeds today too. Well, it does stand to reason. I mean, it is interesting, of course, and there's no one of the things in the earlier drafts of the text that were really interesting to me is that Tolkien was paying much more attention to the politics of Minas Tirith than he does in later versions. Like, there's the published version of the text, just like there's not really any question about like everybody accepting Aragorn. You know, and whether there will be any ill feeling from folks within Minas Tirith, whether they're gonna. I just missed the stable master.
Yeah.
There we go. I didn't see the one random horse standing in the middle of a non-stable.
Want to go to the high stables?
Needs your
Yeah, high stables. That's
high
right.
Stables. Anyway, but in the early drafts, it was something he was thinking about, and in particular, the question was with Faramir. So. The very first version of the coronation scene seemed to be much more focused on sort of both dynastic succession as well as basically it was clear that it was possible that some of the people of Minas Tirith might support Faramir, you know, might sort of be beginning with the assumption that Faramir should, you know, rule after his father, and that the ordering of this, like, you know, in the published text, the ordering of the ceremony, you know, Faramir's role in the ceremony and stuff is purely formal and based only. I mean, it's all ceremonial, but it's all ceremonial that's designed merely to be commemorative, right? Like, let's commemorate, you know, what led to the, you know, Aragorn is explicitly connecting it to, you know, making it almost a kind of symbolic reenactment, right? With Frodo bringing him the crown and Gandalf setting it on his head. He's doing a symbolic reenactment of the events that led up to and made his coronation possible. In the original version, he is doing it, it's more political theater, right? Like, here's Faramir, who is going to who is going to to hand over his office and bring me the crown. And it was more clearly designed to show that Faramir was totally on board with this. So everybody who supports Faramir is going to follow Faramir in giving their support to Aragorn. It was,
I relinquish command of the city, I stand relieved kind of thing.
Yes, to make sure that there was no possibility that anybody would, that there would be any resentment on the part of the Faramir's greatest supporters, of whom there were many, of course. Anyhow, that was an interesting kind of shift. But again, in the published text, we don't have any hint, right, that there might be any lingering disaffection or disgruntlement or ill feeling. So it's interesting that they've added that as a quest line here. It seems to me totally likely, that there would be some.
I get that. I love the idea that there might be some people who aren't happy about the transition of power, who aren't happy that Arwen is an outsider, not one of their own.
Exactly, and not even human, right? So, now, of course, you would think that most in Gondor would. I mean, given the fact, thinking of the way in which like Mablung and Damrod in Ithilien were speaking Elvish to each other, right? It's clear that there is still this...
the kinship,
the culture of Gondor is still much more sort of Elvish-oriented than obviously than somewhere like Rohan. And yet there must be some who just trust
remember, Boromir knew of the Lady of the Forest, and he spoke of her as an evil witch.
Well, not in the same terms as they did in Rohan, but certainly he was uncomfortable going into Lothlorien. You're right. So it is clear that there must be some people who are less than totally thrilled that their new king is marrying an elf. I like this plotline. But anyway, sorry, Gandalf. Been leaving you.
What has brought you back to me so quickly?
Okay, has Gimli exhausted his store of love words, or has he decided to save them for another wedding? It would not surprise me to learn that our dwarf has a poet's heart, as do many of his people. You tell Gandalf about the mention of Castamir that someone slipped among Gimli's papers in the splintered shield, and the wizard nods without surprise. Yes, I expected something like this, Wiggin. The folk of Gondor have long memories. Castamir's reign was the violent culmination of the Kinstrife, a chain of events that began with a wedding, of which the populace did not approve. Yeah, see, exactly. That's just what I was thinking. The parallels there with the king marrying outside of Gondor, right? Romendikil, 20th king of Gondor, sent his son Valakar to make peace with Vidugavia, the self-proclaimed king of Rovanion. Valakar did so, but he did more as well. He fell in love with Vidumavi, Northman daughter of the king, and the two were married. Many folk in Gondor were displeased with the match, believing that Valakar's marriage would lessen the royal Númenórean blood in any heir produced by the union. Unrest simmered throughout the kingdom. A child was born to Valakar and Vidumavi, and he was named Eldakar. The unrest continued to simmer until at last he came to the throne. Unrest turned to violent conflict, and Castamir, the captain of ships, brought war to unseat Eldakar. The usurper ruled Gondor for 10 years until Eldakar returned at the head of a Northman army. Castamir was slain, but his sons and allies fled to Pelargir and Umbar, and the underlying discontent that caused the Kinstrife never truly disappeared. Will the people of Gondor accept the marriage of their king to Arwen Undómio, the daughter of Elrond of Rivendell? The news you bring from the Splintered Shield tells me that some at least may not. We should bring word of this possibility to Elessar, though it pains me to trouble him with it. Perhaps you can do this. Yeah, okay, right.
Yeah.
Thanks, Gandalf. Appreciate that. Well, figure it out.
Well summarized.
Yeah, exactly. That was good. Gandalf says, for those of you who have not read Appendix A... Yeah, make us deliver the bad news, Marielle. That's exactly what's going on.
Yeah. See if he'll shoot the messenger here. Okie dokie.
So the problem I have with the fountain in the tree is the proportion. I mean, I believe, as I recall, there is a fountain described in the courtyard, but it's the proportion and the geometry that the fountain should be the focal point. Like, I always pictured like the tree with a fountain under it, you know, like with a fountain at the feet of the tree, so that you could, so that like in the old days when the white tree was you know, in full leaf and blossom, you could, you know, like sit by the fountain underneath the tree.
Yeah, almost like a fountain with a reflecting pool around it and a little island kind of thing.
Something like that, yeah. But the fountain is so enormous out there that it just dwarfs. I mean, obviously it dwarfs the sapling, but even the old tree was visible. But
where's the black chair of the steward? I wonder.
Where did it used to be? It used to
be at the foot of the stairs, like on the very last step.
Well, it's unneeded anymore because, of course, the steward wouldn't normally reign. I mean, that was put in after the kings were gone because the stewards were ruling the city, and so they ruled the city from this room, but they didn't rule it from the throne. So they installed that separately.
But they took it out.
And they took it out, yeah, because the steward isn't ruling here anymore. Yeah. Okay.
You have returned just in time. I planned to send for you.
Okay, you mentioned briefly Gandalf's worries concerning the legacy of the kinstrife and the possibility that the folk of Gondor may not accept Elessar's marriage to Arwen. Your friend raises an eyebrow at that, and his demeanor becomes at once more Aragorn than Elessar. That is not a concern of mine, Wiggin. Arwen will be a good queen, and the kingdom will come to accept her. There will be no kinstrife this time. Okay,
Messengers
so we're ignoring it. That's good. Messengers from... They're fine. All right, no worries. Glad there's no problem. Messengers from Elondine have come to the city, and they bring word that a riding of fair folk has come out of the north. Even now they draw near the walls of the Pelennor, and my betrothed is with them. Go to the gates of the city, Wiggin, and tell Hurin I will be down presently. I would ask you to then greet the party from Rivendell, and let them know they are long awaited and most welcome in Gondor. Okay. I am excited to see the procession.
Yay, I'm gonna meet the entourage.
Yeah.
And the colors are probably gonna be washed out a bit.
That's all right. Everyone is just radiant with the occasion, that's all.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. All from the light.
I do love the polished floor and the reflections. Yeah. It's a really fun effect. Yeah, I know, Pineleaf. It is a little bit funny to think that, you know, the niece of Elros, first king of Numenor, is going to dilute the Numenorian bloodline, right? I mean, it's...
Yeah.
It does, in that way, seem almost comical that people would think that. But again, it's... First of all, to what extent is that even understood? You know? I mean, I wonder how good your average... you know, like person on the street in Minas Tirith, or person on the street, you know, from like backwoods Lebanon or something, how much they even know, like how much, like what's the name Elros even going to mean to them? Like, how much do they know about it? How comfortable and familiar
that is a question.
With even that kind of lore? And to what extent do they know? I mean, do they realize that their new queen is the niece of the first king of Numenor? I mean, that's a lot to wrap your mind around.
How may I help you, friend?
Yeah.
City stables.
Yeah, city stables.
Yeah, they might not even be aware that is the elf's lifespan, and you know.
Oh,
I think they would know Elros because it's kind of like knowing the presidents. Oops.
Yeah. Sorry, coming in again. No worries.
Yeah, that's fair. But I think wrap your head around it's probably a better.
And as I say, I'll see. Maybe I am running the 32-bit client. Come to think of it.
Okay, before you go into the game.
Oh wait, hang on. Too late.
Well, too late.
It's okay. I'm gonna take a break in a little while anyway, and maybe I can
Phil's
fiddle with it there.
hungry cats will thank you for that.
Yeah, exactly. We'll take a break in a minute. But anyway, yeah. No, I just it's so something that this is a general thing that I think a lot of Tolkien readers forget, and that there are a lot of different effects of this, and that is that. A lot of Tolkien readers forget the fact that they, as Tolkien readers, know much, 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 much more about lore and history and everything else than most of the characters in the book. Especially at the time that the events take place, right? There will doubtless be a great new flourishing of lore but I mean, lore wanes in Gondor, remember? That was a bit of a jibe in a sense that wait, hang on a second. Have I gone to the wrong place?
Yeah, I think you're Pelennor after the battle, or
I am. I'm in the after battle one.
No worries, you can easily switch over.
Interesting.
Oh yeah.
Can I do that from here, from the Stablemaster here?
Yeah, should be able to.
Actually, this is a really fun contrast. Let me just look around here for a second. Okay, so now
there's no Earendil in the sky. The moon phase is different, also.
Huh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a full moon in midsummer, but that one is the partial moon. Yeah. So no light of Earendil for you.
Nope. Well, look at I didn't even notice the extent to which the flagstones have been repaired. And they're already beginning that work over there. Yeah. Huh? No, this is actually this is a delightful error, because
look, even the statue fell.
The statue fell, yeah.
So they could have put flowers on it when they put the statue back, and they didn't.
Right. I mean,
it would have been easy to put flowers on that.
Right. No. They didn't want to. They
probably decided, well, since that's the only one that fell,
it was clearly a deliberate choice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See, this is all the area that was planted with sod. They've replaced the haystack. Yeah, no, this is actually really cool. Okay, sorry. Let's I will head back over to the.
How may I help you, friend?
Midsummer. There we go. Let's ride out the gate and then come back.
Time warp and immediately right back into gate.
Off we go, and back we return. They still haven't let the artichokes in? Oh man.
Maybe these are different artichokes.
Maybe, yeah. Yet another batch of artichokes. Darn it!
Sweet.
Oh, come on now. All right, maybe I will pause and try to update the client. Maybe that's my problem. Okay, hang on. Well, so let's take a break. I've already been going for a couple hours anyway.
Yeah.
Which I didn't even notice. It's been a couple hours.
Yeah, time flies when you're having fun.
Exactly. So let's pause here. I'll just do this. Okay, so I'll be back. I'm gonna leave this. No, actually, I guess I could just stop the stream for a bit and then I'll come back. Okay.
Unless you want the entire thing to be in one full.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. Yeah. Maybe that would be better.
You can leave the stream going and, I don't know, put a cool meme up or something.
I don't have one prepared. So that's fine. Actually, no, I think I can just stop it. It can be in different parts.
All right.
Be fine. Okay. All right. Very good.
I'll make the archive of that one while you're doing that.
We'll be back in just a few moments. Take a break, get up and stretch. I know I'm going to, and we'll see what we can do.
All right, see you then.
All right.